Hello and thanks for tuning in. This is Justin with Loretronic, and we have another fantastic mind-blowing theory for you today. One of the many new questions we have from playing the FNAF Security Breach DLC Ruin is, who is Cassie's father? He is mentioned several times throughout the campaign, but is never directly referred to by name or even given much of a description. Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. I believe Cassie's father might possibly be Henry. That's right, the very man who partnered with William Afton and made our 4 main animatronics. But he sacrificed himself burning down the FNAF 6 location, you say? He is dead. How could he be a father figure to Cassie so many years later? It is possible he could be possessing an Endo to continue his work and trying to be with his family once more. Stick around and check out some of the key pieces of evidence that really got this theory rolling. Let's first take a quick look at the history of Henry. Get to know one of the founders a bit more. Date unknown. Henry helped create Fazbear Entertainment along with his business partner, William Afton, who was the founder of Afton Robotics LLC. The two opened their first location, Fredbear's Family Diner. This first restaurant housed just 2 animatronics, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, both created by Henry. 1983, Henry built our main lineup of animatronics, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and the company opened Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Sadly, that same year, Henry's only daughter Charlie was murdered right outside the establishment. The time period is unclear if it was before or after Charlie's death, but another tragedy struck with the bite of 83 taking a child's life. Thus, Fredbear's Family Diner closes. After decades of being haunted with grief from the death of his daughter and discovering it was his partner William that killed her, Henry concocted the plan that took place during FNAF 6 Pizza Simulator with the completion ending. As the player in FNAF 6, you realize you are following Henry's instructions to get all the animatronics in one place and burn it all to the ground, including himself and William as Springtrap, believing fire will help release the spirits trapped inside. Skip ahead many years later, and we come to find out the Pizzaplex in Security Breach was actually built over the old FNAF 6 location, which you find as both Gregory and Cassie. With Gregory, you find it doing the true 2-star ending, and then as Cassie with letting the mimic loose. Right before the final battle, in Security Breach, you encounter a spaghetti mess of endos known as the Blob. If you look closely, it contains parts from Circus Baby, Marionette, Chica, Mangle, and Bonnie. What if the animatronics that Henry attempted to burn and free all those years ago never left? What if Henry himself also stuck around? What if he has been at the Pizzaplex this entire time, just in Endo form? We know spirits possessing robots is nothing new to this franchise. What first gave this new theory some traction was when I obtained the Five Nights at Freddy's official character encyclopedia. Looking through the pages on all the various animatronics that appeared in the franchise, you eventually end up on the Mediocre Melodies. It is confirmed Afton made the Funtime animatronics, while the Melodies were made by Cassette Man in pursuit of some profit, and it was later confirmed that the Cassette Man is actually Henry. After clearing Security Breach a few more times, the lore-hunting lens of FNAF 6 connection was dominant in my dome piece. In the pictures given of the Mediocre Melodies, you will notice they all have something in common: a battery hooked up to them. We know in this franchise what the publishers choose to show us in these books is for a reason. I feel like they intentionally left us these batteries to show how they were powered. There are very few references to the Mediocre Melodies in Security Breach, one being a Mr. Hippo magnet. This still felt like a connection to FNAF 6, being so random and out of place amongst the new Pizzaplex and animatronics. In Help Wanted 2, there are even more connections to the Mediocre Melodies. When Ruin was released, these batteries were in the front of my mind while exploring, since I had just recently gone through the aforementioned encyclopedia. Not long in the DLC, we pick up the wrench right next to some mop bots, which is quite interesting because we find out that deactivating all of them reveals where Bonnie's remains have been kept in Bonnie Bowl. Bonnie was Cassie's father's favorite animatronic. Do you know what else is nearby the wrench? That's right, the very same batteries. Could it be whoever was using the Faz wrench also has a technique of using these batteries? Even the portable computer stations throughout Ruin are powered by these types. And later on, at the very end of Security Breach, again in the old FNAF 6 location, you find these batteries in a crate. Going back outside the entrance of the FNAF 6 location, there is a single staff bot with a flashlight circling the entrance like a guard. If you inspect them closely, they are covered in green moss. I immediately think that they have been down there for some time for moss to actually grow on it. In Ruin, when you get to the secret daycare room and look around, you encounter pieces of a bot that has the same green moss growing on it. Later on in Bonnie Bowl, when you enter Bonnie's green room, if you look to the right, yet again, there are moss-covered parts resting on a worker's cart. Whoever has been down to the FNAF 6 location has also been to both the secret daycare room and Bonnie's green room. After the death of Henry's daughter Charlotte, also known as Charlie, he was a truly devastated man. He was never able to move on from it. We know family has always been a major underlying theme in the Five Nights at Freddy's games. What if Henry was attempting to once again have a father-daughter relationship through Cassie? He could be possessing an Endo and continuing his work at the Pizza Plex. Henry was alive during the 60s and 70s, which was the time period when lunchboxes were at the height of their popularity. This would also help explain the collectible lunchboxes you get throughout Ruin. Cassie even mentions how her dad loved collecting these. This could also explain the old posters you find in Security Breach. We know the persona and characteristics of someone can be contained in a motherboard. That's how we got Glitch Trap. The essence and memories of Henry could also be mixed in with the security system's coding, showing Cassie more with the mask on than she normally would see. It could have been Endo Henry bashing through doors and crawling into areas, setting up security nodes, trying to keep the mimic underground and contained. You also notice connections between what sort of items become security nodes and Cassie herself. Things like a Roxy bowling ball, daycare related objects, most importantly, Roxy herself. Henry knew Roxy was Cassie's favorite, so therefore it would be very hard resetting her.
Your special day. I remember. Your special day. Do you still like carrot cake?
This would help guarantee the mimic would never get out, right? False.
Cassie? What are you doing?
So sorry.
I love carrot cake. Happy birthday, Cassie.
Fox, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Endo Henry's efforts were all in vain. Or were they? Let's keep those lore hunting lenses on, my friends. Check out our future FNAF Theory videos connecting all these together by subscribing and giving a thumbs up. It really helps the channel thrive, and we thank you for tuning in. Happy holidays. Bye!